Greetings, my sisters and brothers in the love and in the light. This is Robert, your humble messenger and narrator of the Law of One. I am pleased to bring you information from, it's always enjoyable, two sources, and the subject being that interesting and intriguing subject of the existence or does Bigfoot exist? I am Hatonn. At this time, I would request questions. Carla asks, what can you tell us about Bigfoot? I am Hatonn. I am aware of the problems concerning Bigfoot. The problem is very simple. It is unfortunate that, at this time, this information is somewhat restricted, shall I say, as are many bits of information which we may give you. However, it is possible to say that the Bigfoot type of creature is an important part of the development of your planet. He will increase in great numbers in the very near future and play a very important part in the transition of your planet. He is not of a malevolent form. He is docile. He is not related to another form, which is not of a physical nature, but of what you term an astral nature. This form is similar to what you know as the werewolf. It is not a Bigfoot creature. It is not manifesting in your physical illusion except for very short periods of time. There is nothing to fear from these creatures, for they are unable to attack those who are of the light. Questioner, are they able to attack humans at all? I am Hatonn. This is possible. It is dependent upon the vibrational situation. Questioner, of the human being? I am Hatonn. That is correct. Carla asked, are you aware of the article I was reading this afternoon? Can you see that in my mind? Can you see that in my mind about the UFO with the Bigfoot type entity inside it? Could you at all say what that guy was doing in the UFO or what the guy was seeing on the ground that saw this? Why, they're in UFOs. What the connection is? I am Hatonn. This is a vehicle of conveyance, which is formed by thought on what you call an astral plane. The creature of which you speak is not physical, in your terms, but partially so. His vehicle both physical and that conveyance, which you term a UFO, partially materialized into your density. He is able to vitalize his body through the use of the blood of animals, upon which he preys, just as a bird of prey in your sky uses the blood of the animals upon which he preys. The difference, my friends, is that this entity, for most of your experience, is not physical and is a transient in your world. This is possible at this time because of the progress of your planet in transition. It was possible in the past, only in very limited cases, but will become more prevalent in the future, along with many other entities which have been, for many years of your time, denizens of what you term the astral planes. Many of them will be for short periods of time manifesting in the physical, and then, as time progresses, for longer periods. It is necessary, if one is to sustain a physical body, that body be nourished by physical substance, just as you nourish your physical body. Each of these creatures, no matter what type, If they are to maintain a physical body as you know it, will find it necessary to nourish that body. The mutilations of which you speak are simply nourishments. They are not being carried out by the variety of Bigfoot that now dwells within your plane. This variety of Bigfoot is a vegetarian. Carla asks, the werewolf type of Bigfoot, is its form dependent upon the thought forms of the people of this planet? Is he shaped, made like he is because of various... I am Hatonn. The shape of this entity is ancient. It is a formation that was brought about by the mating of a certain race in your ancient times, a race that evolved in what you would have called the second density. This race was lost in your physical world at the end of that cycle of experience, but remains in thought in what you term the astral plane. As your planet makes its present transition, it is possible in a more direct manner for these earlier forms to emerge in your worlds due to the transition which is both mental and physical. The physical part having to do with a nourishment and a polarization which is derived from the cattle which are mutilated and drained of blood. Is this a sufficient explanation? Carla says, yes, thank you. I would like to ask about the other Bigfoot, if that's all right. The physical Bigfoot. Is that an ancient species too? How did this form evolve? How long has it been on this earth? And how long... I am Hatonn. This animal, as you might call it, is neither truly an animal or what you call a species of man. It is, as you say, of a different order. It is what you might call the missing link between the ape man that you know upon your planet and the human that you know upon your planet. There was, in many years past, an experiment that occurred upon your planet, an experiment having to do with the mating of a species that you know of as the ape, and the species that you know of as human. This experiment was performed by, shall I say, the scientific community, which had a purpose somewhat unknown to your peoples today. The purpose was to produce a physical vehicle which could endure great hardships as the ape form, as you know, can. However, it was desired that the ape-like vehicle be equipped with the intelligence of the more highly evolved human. The experiment was to create a race of human apes, a high order of intelligence, but yet with vehicles which could endure great hardship. The reason for this was that a transition of planetary condition was foretold, a condition that would no longer facilitate the human because of atmospheric and environmental conditions. It was thought that if this more rugged race of creatures could be developed, that experience in the physical upon this planet could continue. This then was the origin of what you know as the Bigfoot creature. The human, which was used in combination with what you know as the ape, was not the type of individual that now inhabits your planet, but of a different variety. Carla asks, was this in Atlantis? I am Hatonn. This was previous to the time of Atlantis. However, there were some experiments done in what you know as Atlantis. Carla asks, and the Bigfoot has survived ever since then in remote places. I am Hatonn, and this is correct. However, in very sparing numbers. He has had the intelligence to maintain total aloofness, for he has realized that it would be of no benefit for him to come in contact with the race of man that is now upon your surface. However, at this time, there is a need for him in increasing numbers. Question: will it ever be possible to communicate with this creature? This creature can communicate with you at any time he desires. It is only necessary for him to think, for he is telepathic. I am sorry for the delay. I was working this out. This instrument is having difficulty with this concept. However, I will attempt to answer your question. Physical Bigfoot has been in contact with the Confederation throughout its stay upon your planet. It has been in contact through the method of telepathy. There is a liaison which takes place. The liaison is more for maintenance than anything else. Carla asks, what type? The liaison is maintenance. We give them food. There are cases when these creatures are in need of physical sustenance in the form of food. We simply supply them. 9.18 Questioner: is there any particular race of people on our planet now who were incarnated here from second density? I am Ra. There are no second density consciousness complexes here on your sphere at this time. However, there are two races which use the second density form. One is the entities of the planetary sphere you call Maldek. These entities are working their understanding complexes through a series of what you would call karmatic restitutions. They dwell within your deeper underground passageways and are known to you as Bigfoot. The other race is that being offered a dwelling in this density by guardians who wish to give the mind-body-spirit complexes of those who are of this density at this time appropriately engineered physical vehicles, as you would call these chemical complexes, in the event that there is what you call nuclear war. 9.21 Questioner: are they Bigfoot type creatures? I am Ra. This is correct, although we would not call these Bigfoot, as they are scarce and are very able to escape detection. The first race is less able to be aware of proximity of other mind-body-spirit complexes, but these beings are very able to escape due to their technological understandings before their incarnations here. These entities of the glowing eyes are those most familiar to your peoples. 9.22 Questioner: then there are two different types of Bigfoot, correct? I am Ra. There are three types of Bigfoot, if you will accept that vibratory sound complex used for three such different races of mind-body-spirit complexes. The first two we have described. The third is a thought form. 64.15 Questioner: Dr. Monroe, he also asked, and I know this is unimportant, why there were no Bigfoot remains found, that is, after the Bigfoot entities had died on our surface. He had asked why there had never been any remains of these entities found. Could you answer this for him? It's just of no importance, but just as a service to him, I ask it. I am Ra. You may suggest that exploration of the caves which underlie some of the western coastal mountain regions of your continent will one day offer such remains. They will not be generally understood if this culture survives in its present form long enough in your time measurement for this possibility vortex to occur. So, all right, there you go. Bigfoot does exist. Go Bigfoot!